Alright, Warren Buffett is the world's most successful value investor, right? He's been investing into stocks since he was 11 and he bought and sold thousands of stocks, while holding a few of them for decades now. We are still at the beginning of 2023, and while the stock market lost roughly 22% in 2022, that does not mean that 2023 will continue this trend. And that might even be an opportunity to buy some undervalued stocks. I mean, looking at this very cool portfolio of this awesome investor might give you a broad idea of how the stock market works, how to start, and even how to focus your own research, and also what to look for and what to avoid. Let's unfold his 2023 portfolio. In this video, we'll take a look at his stock portfolio for 2023 and also break down his top 5 stocks. It is worth remembering that Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio is 49 stocks long. They probably all are worth something enough to justify a buy from Warren's company, right? But we'll only take a look at a few of them based on Berkshire's top holdings for the past year. Alright, starting at the 5th position with the 5th largest holding, which is also a long-time holding in Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio and is one of the company's largest financial services investments. Buffett has invested in American Express since the 1960s and hasn't bought or sold a single share in the company since 1998, which seems insane. And he's been holding this single company for decades now. I was not even born, right? And take a look at these numbers. The 151 million Berkshire shares in American Express were valued at $20 billion at the last reporting date, or 6.91% of the portfolio at the reported price of $144 per share. American Express is basically a credit card company and financial services company too that offers a range of products, including personal and professional credit cards alongside Visa and MasterCard, the big three in these markets. The company's strong brand, large customer base, and also high-quality portfolio assets make it a possible great company to consider adding to the portfolio. American Express is, I think, one of the most recognizable brands, and this investment approach I think makes total sense. I mean, a person looking to open a credit card will probably have American Express on their mind, right? And this leads to strong account growth and a persistent advantage in customer acquisition. Alright, so how does American Express make money? Its business model is centered around issuing credit cards, processing payments, travel lifestyle, etc. In fact, it has 3 main operating segments. So the first one is Global Consumer Services, which also provides a range of credit cards products and services and accounts for 59.5% of American Express total revenue. Then Merchants and Network Service, which provides payment processing services and marketing solutions to merchants and represent roughly 23.6% of its total revenue. And finally, Global Commercial Services, which provide a range of payment and expense management solutions to businesses in the world and account for roughly 16.9% of their total revenue, for a total revenue of $50 billion in 2022 alone. Alright, the 4th largest holding of Berkshire Hathaway is Coca-Cola. This single company is one of the oldest and most well-known investments in Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio, and also the company has held a stake in the company for decades. Warren Buffett first bought Coca-Cola shares back in 1988, right after the so-called Black Monday crash of 1987. And over the years until 1994, Berkshire Hathaway added even more stock, bringing their position to 100 million shares. And not a single share has been sold since then, and through the course of 2 stock splits, Berkshire Hathaway now finds itself holding 400 million Coca-Cola shares. The shares are now valued at $22 billion, while representing 7.57% of Berkshire's portfolio. The company has a strong brand and also a large established customer base, making it a relatively stable investment in the consumer goods sector. So I think the company's investment into Coca-Cola itself perfectly fits into Buffett's investment style, since after the market crash of 1987, Coca-Cola was simply a high-quality company at a cheap price. Its price plummeted while its intrinsic value kept getting better and better. While investors kept selling their stocks, its customers kept buying its products. And owning the company has also other benefits like expensive distributor networks, strong retail relationships, and deep market penetration that helps protect the company from facing rising competition. And this is Coca-Cola's biggest moat, its brand recognition. So let me explain here. Most people would often choose Coke over other choices they have, which justify its substantial growth for the past decade. Next, in the 3rd place, we have Chevron, which represents 8.02% of the portfolio, and the 165 million shares held by the company are now worth $23 billion. And by the way, Buffett recently added almost 4 million new shares at the end of 2022, and unlike American Express and Coca-Cola itself, Chevron is a pretty recent buy. In other words, Buffett just bought stakes in one of the largest oil and gas companies in the world. In recent years, also, Buffett has been criticized for investing in oil companies like Chevron, which are facing growing pressure to transition to cleaner energy. However, he has defended his investment, saying that he believes in the company's long-term prospects, and this investment makes sense, I think, since electricity still has some issues to face to be fully implemented everywhere. The impact of the war between Russia and Ukraine and the backlisting of Russia oil imports from many Eurozone countries quickly lead to an energy crisis. So yeah, the price of oil, natural gas and also their refined products shot up dramatically to the dismay of consumers and to the joy of oil producers. Alright, so Chevron has two operating segments. First one upstream, second one downstream. The upstream segment is responsible for the exploration and extraction of crude oil and natural gas, while the downstream segment is responsible for refining crude oil into different finished products such as gasoline, diesel, and even aviation fuel, etc. In 2022, the upstream segment represented roughly 26% of Chevron's total revenue, and while the downstream segment represented around 74% for a total revenue of $246 billion. Alright, we then have Bank of America, which now accounts for 10.40% of the overall stocks portfolio. The company's 1 billion shares are now worth around $40 billion at the last reported price of $40.20 per share. And the last addition was a long time ago, in the last quarter of 2020, when Buffett purchased a further 85 million shares, which is interesting to note as he was selling other bank stocks during this time. Bank of America is one of the largest banks in the United States alone and offers a range of financial services, including consumer banking, wealth management, and also investment banking. The bank's large customer base, extensive branch network, and also strong balance sheet make it a relatively safe investment in the financial sector. And I think that Bank of America is an interesting investment since it is theoretically linked to the country's infrastructure. So, technically, in an abstract way, of course, investing into America's big banks is almost like investing in the growth of America as a whole. Alright, so Bank of America has 5 operating segments: corporate and commercial banking, which now account for 44.1% of the company's total revenue for 2022. Consumer banking, roughly 41.3%. Wealth management, which provides investment management and advice, accounts now for 15.6% of the overall revenue. Sales and trading, which represent now 12.6% of the company's revenue. And finally, advisory and underwriting business, which consists of selling stocks and bonds, etc., and represents 6.3% of their revenue. And finally, the biggest company held by Warren Buffett for the past few years is Apple. And it is by far the biggest holding, accounting for 41.76% of the overall stocks portfolio. Berkshire Hathaway now holds 894 million shares at a reported price of $133.20 per share, and they are now worth $123 billion. And the latest purchase of Apple for Berkshire Hathaway came in the first half of 2022, when 3 million or roughly 4 million shares were added to the portfolio. You already know that Apple is a tech company that produces a wide range of consumer electronics and software products, including the iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, and also Apple TV. So it is not the best by any means, but when it does something, it does it well. It simply uses technology to enhance our daily life while making efficient and powerful products that can last for 5 to 10 years. So how does Apple make money? Apple's business model can be broken down into products and also services, like the iPhone, Mac, iPad, and also wearables accessories, which accounted for 82% of Apple's product segments at the end of 2022, while services like Apple Pay, Apple Music, and also Apple Store, etc. represented 18% of their total revenue. If there was only one thing to pay attention to, it would probably be its iPhone lineup, which alone represents 54% of Apple's total revenue. And by the way, if we look at their 2021 sales, it seems like the other segments like Mac, iPad, and even services tend to grow, which is probably good news for Apple and its investors. investors. Alright, so even though Warren Buffett has a diverse 49 stock portfolio, he continuously stayed focused on 5 main companies for the past 3 decades. And these companies alone have strong brands and customer bases, making them relatively stable investment. And they perfectly fit into Buffett's investment style, which prioritizes quality and value over short-term performance. And if you have enjoyed this video, then you will like this one right there, where I'll talk about how I plan to have $500 in dividends in 2023, or this one right here about ChatGPT and investing. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below, subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, I will see you in the next one.